So during the entire training, you have to follow some instruction. Okay, in order to these instruction you all have to follow just to avoid the interruption in the training. Got it? To smooth conduction of the training, smooth conduction of the session, you all have to follow this some instructions. Okay, so during the entire training, or we can say during the entire session, your microphone should be on mute condition. Unless and until it is required to unmute, your mic should be on mute condition. You all got it? The next thing, please, it's request to you all, don't ask any question in between of ongoing session. Okay, whatever your doubt, your queries, uh, you just write in the chat box. Okay, if I feel it is important to ask, it is important to answer that question at that time, I will definitely try to the answer to that question. But if I feel it is not important to answer that question at that time, I will definitely take that question at the end of the session. We are taking the we are giving some time for the question and answering at the end of every session, or in between of session. I also interact with you all. I will ask some question to you. You have a right to give the answer to that question. So in between of the training, we will take the open discussion also. But in between of ongoing session, don't ask any question. Just write in the comment box. The next thing, please don't ask any question which is not related to ongoing topics. Got it? Sometimes what happen, we are actually discussing about the modeling, we are actually discussing about the superstructure, and in between of that discussion someone is asking about the foundation detailing. You all got it what I am trying to say? Okay, so that create interruption in the session, interruption in the discussion, or that will cause a loss of the time. Got it? So please, it's request you all, don't ask any question which is not related to ongoing topics. Okay, and in every session after the day, try to join the meeting before 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, every day the session will be at 7:30. You will get the link in afternoon, or at 4 to 5 o'clock, and then through that link just try to join the meeting before 5 to 10 minutes. So these are the some instruction you have to follow during the entire training and during the entire session. So I just want to give a little introduction about this training. Many of you uh, maybe know about this training, what the things we are going to cover in this training, but I am going to discuss these things for those who actually don't know what is actually included in this training, what the things we are going to discuss in this training. Got it? So that all things I am going to discuss here before starting the our actual session. This entire training we have divided into three sections, or we can say divided into three parts. So in the first part, we will discuss all about the softwares, all about the commands of the softwares, and how to prepare the in-plan grids, how to define the material properties, how to define the section properties, how to model different kinds of beam. So all the activities in the first section will be taken to make you familiar with the software. All the activities where we have planned to take in the first section is just to make you familiar with the software. Unless and until you are not getting the familiar with the software, you can't do any project, you can't start your project. You will definitely going to do mistake. So it is better to understand the software first. Okay, how to complicated geometry, how to complicated grids have to form in the ETAP software. Got it? How to define the material properties, how to define the section properties, that all things we will discuss in the first section. Here in the first session practice, we will also taking a sample project. Okay, and the aim behind that practice is to make you uh, confidence in modeling of the structure. Got it? See, every project, every architectural plan will be different. No doubt the analysis will be same. No doubt. See, for every project, what will be there, what will be same thing will be there. Every project, every kind of building, if you are talking about the RCC building, residential building, commercial building, for every type of building, what you will get, you will get the same analysis. You have to perform the same design procedure, design steps. You have to perform the same scheduling step. You have to perform the same detailing steps. But only the different thing is what, every project, every architectural plan will be different, and accordingly your model will be different for every project. Am I right? So see, the most important step for doing any structural designing is actually the modeling. If you get the command over the modeling, then nothing is there. The next steps are all common for all the projects. Only the different is what, your modeling. That's why in the first section we have given more effort to make you comfort, to make you confidence in the modeling. So we will take a sample project where we will show you how to model the project, how to model the structure. So that all kind of things we will discuss in the first section. Okay, once the first section will gets completed and you will be becoming a familiar with the software, then we will move to the next step, and we can say for the next section, there we will see a low rise live project, real life project we are going to take in this live training, where we will take a real life project. We will take an architectural plan, and we are trying to complete that structure, that project from start to end. What are the steps for the completion of any project as a structural engineer? I hope it might be in your knowledge that there will be architectural plan. Architectural plan will come to the structural engineer. Then structural engineer is responsible to position the column, then positioning of beams, and positioning of the slabs. That all things is needed to done by the structural engineer. And then after finalizing of the beam layout, after finalizing the center line plan, our work is started with the software. In software, the first step is that you have to do is actually modeling. Very first step that you have to do, modeling. Okay, modeling, then next analysis, then next designing. Okay, so these all steps you have to do there for the completion of the any project. In the second step, we will complete this project from start to end. Okay, where we are going to model, where we are going to analyze, where we are going to design. Okay, and then we will go to scheduling and detailing of the structure also. So that thing we have to cover in this practice in the second section. So after completing of this project, you will be able to design complete structure with scheduling and detailing on your own. You can complete the entire project independently. Okay, after completion of this exercise, then in the third step, in the third section, we will deal with the high-rise structure. In low-rise structure, we are going to analyze the structure only for the gravity load. But when you are dealing with the high-rise structure, there you have to assign the lateral loads also. It means earthquake load and wind loads. Then what are the different methods of analysis? Then what are the different load combination? What are the different things are there that is totally different with the low-rise structure. So that all things we will cover in the high-rise structure. We will check the stability of the structure with the advanced codes, new codes for the high-rise structure as 1893 for the earthquake, ISO 875 part 3 for the wind load, and then AS16700 for the high rise structure. So that all things we will cover in this entire training. Are you ready to finally start the session? So this is actually just introduction about this complete training course. Okay, so you all are ready. So whatever the version you have for the ETAP software, just click on that software, just double click on the icon of the software so that it will take some time to open up. So I have right now ETAP 2017 version. See, whenever you open the ETAP software without being internet connection, hello, whenever you open the ETAP software without being internet connection, so this kind of welcome screen will be open. Okay, here you can find this top ribbon, which is actually called as top main menu bar. What is this? This is called as top main menu bar. Top main menu bar. Okay, whenever you start this software without being internet connection, as you can see here in the box. Okay, when you start the ETAP software without being internet connection, so you will get this kind of welcome screen. Okay, and at the top you will get this top main menu bar. This is called as top main menu bar. Okay, and in the welcome screen you will never find anything in this window. This will be blank. Okay, but what will happen if you start the ETAP software being internet connection? See, this kind of user interface you will see there. This kind of welcome screen will be appear there. Got it? Okay, this top ribbon is called as top menu bar. With internet connection you will get this kind of welcome screen. Okay, so this is the latest news. What is actually ongoing in the company of the ETAP CSI? So that is actually given here. Okay, so that you can see what is the updation is there, which version of the which software has the latest version, that you all the news that is ongoing in the company of the ETAP software you can find from this section. Got it? And it is also given resources. There you can find some videos, some introductory videos are there, and you can see these videos and you can understand something about the ETAP software. You can understand something about the different procedures. So that all things is actually given in the video format. Okay, so that you can see in this section. Then when you go to manuals, some PDF contents are also given there. So you can read these PDF contents to understand the basic things of the ETAP software. Welcome to ETAP's user guide, introductory tutorials, that all things actually given here. So you can see all these PDF contents and you can read it out and you can understand the ETAP software on your own. And in the last, when you click on the website, this will take you on the website of the ETAP software CSI. Okay, so actually what is there, before starting of the software I have to take the introduction about the ETAP software. So we will discuss some introduction about the ETAP software. So the full form of the ETAP is actually extended three-dimensional analysis of building system. If you see, the full form of the ETAP software is actually extended three-dimensional analysis of building system, and this is actually the product of the company whose name is Computer and Structure Incorporation, whose short form is CSI, Computer and Structure Incorporation. And this software, this ETAP software was initially as just a program, and this was developed by some master students while they are pursuing their masters in 1975. But in 1985 these program were launched as an integrated analysis and design software. Okay, so the Computer and Structure Incorporation company has many products in the form of the softwares, for the different fields. Not only for the structure, this company has a software for all the branches, we can say, for all the specialization of the civil engineering, we can also say. Okay, so not only for the structure, this company has developed many softwares in different field. But if you are discussing about only for the structural engineering, so when in software for under this company for the structural engineering, for the designing of the structure is ETABS, and then SAFE for the foundation and slab design, then CSI bridge for different kinds of bridge design. CSI has developed CSI bridge. The another product of the CSI company is Perform 3D, which is also used for the analyzing and designing of the superstructure. Then CSI column is there. So these all are the some products were developed by the CSI company. Okay, and it has found to be good for analyzing and designing of the high-rise structure, especially RCC structure. Okay, so ETABS, there is no comparison with the ETABS software for the analysis and design of the high-rise structure, because in ETABS software some commands and some options are given that are very handy and very effective for modeling, analyzing and designing of the high-rise structure, especially RCC structure. So that's why in most of the companies, in most of the consultancies, or we can say in all over the ETABS softwares are commonly used. Most of the iconic buildings of the world were analyzed and designed by the ETABS software. It might be in your knowledge that Burj Dubai, which is one of the tallest building of the world, and this tallest building of the world were analyzed and designed by this ETABS software. Got it? So this little introduction about the ETABS software. So when you open the ETABS software, this kind of welcome screen you can see on your desktop, on your screen. Okay, there you can find a new model option. Once you click on new model, if you want to start your project from the base, from scratch, or you want to start a new model or new file, at that time you have to click on this section, that is new model. Once you click on this, see, once you click on this kind of a new dialog box will open up with the under the title of model initialization. See, this kind of dialog box will be open when you click on what, new model. Just close it. I'm just closing this software. When you click on open existing model, suppose there is a model on which we have worked in the past 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 5 days ago, or 1 month ago, and if you want to reopen that model, if you want to see the things in that model, if you want to work again on that model, so that you have to go with this option. Once you click on this will ask you the position and location of that model, which model you actually want to open. This will ask you when you click on open existing model. Okay, so when you click on open existing model, so this will ask you the location of the model from where you want to open your required model. So suppose I just want to open this model, master G plus 26, just click on this and say open, so that model will be open up. Got it? So this is the application and this is the use of these two option, new model and open existing model. You all got it? Now the next thing is what? See, recent models. In this window, see the very recent model on which we are actually working. Suppose I am working 2 hours before for any particular project, for any particular model, and that I just want to open that model that I have recently closed. So that model you can find here. That is actually not showing here, but most of the time when you open the ETABS software, you will get that recent model that you were recently closed. So that model you can find from this section, from this window. So you just have to click on this and you can that model will be open, that project will be open. Got it? So these things you will get only when your system is actually connected with the internet. If your system is not connected with the internet, at that time you will get this kind of welcome screen. There will be nothing in this window, only the top main menu bar will be there, okay, and nothing will be there. In that case, what you have to do, see, suppose there is no any your internet connection is not there. In that case, how you can open a new model, how you can open open existing model? So don't worry, that thing you can also do from this top main menu bar. So what actually you have to do, just go to file. Once you click on file, there you can find a new model and open. So when you click on new model, the model initialization dialog box will open, and from that step you can start your modeling, start your project from the base. Got it? Now if you want to open existing model, you can go with this option. Okay, so lot of many option with many things is actually available in this section, in the file section. So we will discuss one by one in detail what are the application, what are the use of these sections and these options. What is the option, what is the import, what is the export, what is the upload CSI cloud, what is actually the meaning of all these things, what are the uses of all these things, we will discuss in detail. So I'm just going to start a new file, a new project. So what I have to do, just go to file, just click on new model. Once you click on new model, a new dialog box will be open up under the title of model initialization. Hello, is it visible to all of you? So here you can find three options. When you open the new model, a new dialog box will open up under the title of model initialization. So here you will get the three options to start your project. So first option is what? Use saved user default settings, the first option. And the second option, use settings from a model file, and use built-in setting with. So these three options you will get. So what actually the application of all these options we'll discuss in detail one by one. So what is the application and what is the use of first option, that is use saved user default setting? See, when you are doing any high-rise structure, okay, or we can say if you are dealing with any kind of we can say any kind of low-rise structure, so many things before modeling we have to define in the software. What the things we have to define? We have to define the material properties, we have to define the section properties, we have to define the methods of analysis, okay, and also we have to define the load patterns, and also we have to define the load combinations, okay. So particularly if you are dealing with the high-rise structure, so for the high-rise structure we have to define about more than 100 load combinations. So for the dealing with the high-rise structure, so many methods of analysis also we have to define there. Then many load combinations we also have to define there. So completion of these entire things for every project we have to put 1 to 2 hours. Every time when you start a new project, you have to define all these things, and when you go to define all these things, this will take your about 1 to 2 hours every time. So is it good thing or it is bad thing? Is it time consuming or time effective? Exactly, is a time consuming. Okay, so every time as a consultant, as a structural engineer, when you go to work in a consultancy or when you go to start your own business as a structural engineer, so see, we don't have a time as a structural engineer. When you are getting the project, after a day or after a 2 day, you have to release your drawing. So every time when you go to put this much extra time, so that will be this is not time effective, that is not effective work you are going to do. That's why the ETABS software has given this option. Use saved user default setting. So what it means that suppose there is a project, for that you have defined all the things. To utilize this option, what actually you have to do, you have to complete any project with all the definitions, material definition, section definition, or we can say methods of analysis, and the load combination, load patterns, that all things we have to do for one project only, and make that project as a master project. Define all kinds of possible materials there, define all possible kinds of sections there, define all kinds of methods of analysis there, also define all kinds of load combinations there, and make that project as a master project. And when you go to inside of the ETABS software, here it is not possible to show that option, because see, when I am clicking on this option, so that option you can find here. So it has given the option that you can save all that primary definition in the ETABS by default memory. What the things you have to do, you have to prepare a master project where you have to define all the things, and to save that all primary definitions in the ETABS memory, what you have to do, you have to go to option. There you can find a single option. Just by clicking on that option, all the definition will be saved to the ETABS memory. Got it? So when you use this option and then go to the inside of the software, so what will happen? All the definitions, all the load combinations, all the section properties will be recalled by the ETABS software and will be given in the new file. You all got it? What is the application of the first option? See, the first option is that. Now, what is the meaning of second option? What is the application of the second option? See, with the first option, every time when you go with the first option, what will happen? The same definition will be available in your new model. Okay, if you are going with the first option. But the second option will give you option to use a property of a particular model only. Hello, am I audible? Here with the first option, when you go with the first option, every time you will get the same definition that you have saved as a default setting. Okay, so at a time you can save a one model property as a default setting. You can't save number of model setting as a default setting. You have a right to, you have option to save only one model properties as a default setting. But suppose I just want to pick up a property of a particular model, not a default model, default setting. Are you understanding the condition? What I actually want to do, I just want to use the property of a particular model in my new model. So for that, what you have to do, you have to go with the second option. Once you click on second option, and then when you say OK, so this will ask you from which model you want to take a property. See, I'm just going to click on OK. When you click on OK, see, this kind of new dialog box will open, and this will ask you the location of a model from which you want to take a properties, primary definitions. Got it? So suppose I just want to use this master G26. I'm just going to select this and just say OK. So when you click on this, see, just go to grid and say OK. Is it visible to all of you? See, I have defined anything is there in the new file. I have defined the load combination. Is there anything I have done in the define section? No. See, but see, when you go to define, when you go to see load combination, sorry, when you go to define, go to material properties, see, M50 is there, FE500 is there. Already two material is there. We actually have not defined this material. Got it? But this is actually available from the master copy from a master model. Got it? Then go to define, then go to section property, go to frame section. See, all the sections actually given here that was actually present in the master ETABS model. Got it? So in this way you can use the second option. Just go to file, new model, say no. Okay, again model initialization dialog box will be open. Now with just you all might be you all understood about the first option. You all also have an idea about the second option. Now what does mean by the third option? Just click on the third option so that these remaining options will be in active format. So display units, in which unit you actually want to work. So ETABS has given 3 unit systems. First is metric SI, metric SI. Then second one is the US default, and third one is the MKS system, MKS system. So these 3 unit system has given by the ETABS software. So if you want to work in kilonewton, meter, second and degree Celsius, at that time you have to go with the first option, metric SI. If you want to work with the kilonewton, meters and seconds and degree Celsius, at that time you have to go with the metric SI system, unit system. And if you want to work with the feet and inches, you have to go with the US default option. See, when you click here, so you will get the 3 options. US customary, it means that if you want to work with the feet and inches, you have to go with the first option. If you have to go with the if you would like to work with the meter, kilonewton, seconds, degree Celsius, you have to go with the second option, metric SI. And if you want to work with the kgs and seconds, meters, at that time you have to go with the third option, metric MKS system. Okay, so this is all about the display unit. So this during the entire project, it is not like that once you select any one unit system, you can't change it. So it is not like that. During the complete project, ETABS has given option that you can change the display unit system anytime. Got it? So we will see how to change this display unit system as per the demand, as per the requirement. We will see in detail. Now steel section database. So you might be have a knowledge, have idea about the steel table. So can you tell me what was actually given in the steel table? In the steel table there is given actually the section properties for the steel structures. I section, L section, F, different geometries are there, and for that particular geometry what are the standard sizes were given by the Bureau of Indian Standard. That is given actually in the steel table. That is called as steel section database. So every country has their own steel section database. So ETABS has given many countries. Okay, so based on your country, based on your requirement, you have to choose a particular country. So once you click, suppose as we are Indian, so we have to go with the India. So just click on Indian. So ETABS will recall all the section properties which is actually given by the Bureau of Indian Standard for the standard sizes of the steel sections. Okay, so we have a database which countries are actually included in the ETABS software, so that you can find here. See, we also have a unit systems available in ETABS software. So US default, so absolute distance, will be measured in feet, and relative distance is also measured in feet. Structural area where measured in feet square. Okay, if you are going to work with the US default, so in US default unit system, you have to work with the feet or inches. Just keep in mind. And there is another unit system, that is metric SI, where you have to work with the meter and kilonewton degree Celsius. Okay, so that you have to use in the metric SI system. So we have a database. I will share all these things with you, so that you have to go with just read it out once. You will understand all the unit systems which is actually given in the ETABS software. Got it? Then, so based on your country, you have to choose a steel section database. Now the next is steel design code. So can you tell me which code we are actually preparing for the design of steel structure? Can you tell me? IS 800 2007 we are actually using for the design of steel structure. So based on your country, based on your requirement, you have to choose the code. Many countries code actually given here, so you have to choose as per your requirement. So as our country following the IS 800 2007 for the design of steel structure, for the design of steel member, so that we have to go with this. So for this we also have a database design codes available in ETABS software. So RCC code is there, country wise database steel codes available in ETABS, so that's actually given here. Country wise database steel section code available in ETABS, so that's actually all the things is actually given here. For the RCC IS 456 for our Indian standard. Okay, Bureau of Indian Standard. So that all Singapore code is there, New Zealand's code is there, Mexican code is there. So based on different countries, different codes are there, and that all codes actually included in ETABS software. So once you click on this, so drop down list will be there, and according to your requirement you can select your required code. So I just want to go with the IS 800 2007. Just click on this, and the concrete design code is actually the basic code that we are actually following for the design of this structure is IS 456 2000. Just click on this and say OK. Once you click on OK, a new dialog box will open up under the title of New Model Quick Templates. Is it visible to all of you? As New Model Quick Templates. Got it? So here we before starting any project, see, before starting of any project, first you have to form the grids, the baseline of your structure over which you have to model your structure. You have to prepare first baseline. See, it is see, we can't zoom this dialog box. Okay, this is the by default size is there. So there are actually three options to form your grids. There are three options by which you can complete the gridding of your structure. So what are those? The very first step is what? That offset point method. What? Offset point method, OPM. We normally call it as OPM, offset point method. So using the offset point method, you can form your base grids. See, unless and until you are not forming the grids, you will not able to complete your modeling. No doubt you can complete the modeling, there may be an option, but see, that will become very tedious job, that will become very there will be a very complication. So to avoid that, it is important to first form the grids. Once you complete the grids, so that your modeling work become very easy, become very effective, and you can complete your work very fastly. So first, before starting of modeling, before starting of any project in the ETABS software, the first step is to set the base grids. Got it? So what are the options for the forming the grids in ETABS software? So first option is offset point method, and the second option is what? The second option is actually quick templates. ETABS quick template, quick template, which is actually given here. ETABS quick template. Using ETABS quick template, we can form the grids for the required project. And the third one is the import and export option. So these three options are there for creating or for forming your grids in the ETABS software. Very first is offset point method, second one the ETABS quick template, and the third one is the import and export option. So using all these three options, you can form your base grids for any project. Got it? So we will see one by one what is the how you can form the grids by all these different methods. Got it? So first we have to see how to prepare the grid line by the first option, that is offset point method. So for that, what you have to do, when you get this dialog box, you just click on blank. Once you click on blank, just say okay. Don't bother about all these things. We will discuss all these things in detail later. What are actually the things is given here, we will discuss in detail later. Just try to understand what I am showing here. See, so don't click on grids, just click on blank. Once you click on blank, just say okay. Once you click on okay, a two window will be open. The first window, this window is actually the plan view, and this is actually the 3D view. This is what? This is the plan view, and this is the 3D view of your model. But right now we are not interested to see the 3D view, and we don't have we don't need to see the 3D view. So what you can do, you can close this window, you can close this view. How you can close this view? Just go to this side, and there you can find the cross option. Once you click here, so that this window will be deleted, we can say, and only the plan view will be there. And if you want to add any window, see, you just have to click there, window list, drop down option is there. Just click on this and just say, click on positive sign, add a new window. Just click here, add a new window, so that the new window will be open as 3D view. As you can see here, it is 3D view and it is the plan view. Got it? So the thing is that what you can also adjust the window. I just don't want to see the 3D view, so instead of deleting this window, what you can do, you just keep the size smaller as possible, so that the plan view will be more having the more space to work. Got it? So this kind of things you can do. So these are the two window. If you want to add one more window, suppose you want to keep this first window as plan view, the second window as 3D view, and if you want to see the elevation view also, so what you can do, again just go to this and just click add a new window again. So the third window will be open. If you want to add one more window, just go to add a new window. The fourth window will be open up. So like that you can add the views, you can add the windows. Got it? So here I don't want the windows more than one. I'm going to close all these windows, all these views, just close it. So this is the plan view, and here you can find all the options. The top main menu bar, what we are calling it as, we are calling it as top main menu bar. This is called as top main menu bar. So see, when you go to file, so lot of functions, or we can say options, are there. We will see one by one. We will see each of the options one by one in the later sessions or in the later time. Got it? When you go to edit, if you want to edit any model, if you want to delete, if you want to cut, if you want to paste, if you want to execute, if you want to replicate, so that all things is actually given in the edit. For any particular project, any particular model, if you want to make any change in the model, you have to go with the edit option. If you want to see anything, if you want to see the plan, if you want to see the elevation, if you want to 3D view, okay, if you want to zoom, if you want to zoom out, that all things you will see in this section view. Then define is there, draw is there, select is there, assign is there, analyze is there, all thing is there, that we will see in detail one by one after some time. Got it? So here we have to focus how to prepare the grids by the offset point method. How to form the grids by the offset point method. So very basic things we are going to discuss. After completing all these basic things, we will move to the actual project. Okay, so don't think that it is a very basic thing, we are knowing these things. Okay, so we are trying to start from the base, from basics. Okay, so here see, by the offset point method we have to form these points, we have to form these grids in ETABS software. So as you can see here, this is the origin point. Is it visible? Yeah, so this is actually the 0 point. This is the origin point, and I just want to form these points, or we can say I just want to create these grids in ETABS software. So what actually you need to do, you just go to ETABS and just go to draw, because what actually we need to do, we have to draw the grids. So you need to go to draw section, just go to draw. Once you click on draw, there you can find draw joint objects. Just click on this, a new dialog box will open up, and this will ask you the ordinate of your point. So I just want to take this joint as a origin joint. So anywhere where you want to put your first point, you can take. So I am not going to put any dimension here, any value is here. Just click here. Is it visible? The joint has been drawn here. Okay, so see, this joint is actually drawn here. Now the next point is at a distance of what? In x direction it is 2 meter and y is 0. Okay, so from the origin it is at a distance of 2 meter. So just go to ETABS again and just put here 2 meter. And it is asking in mm. So how much it will become? Hello, 2 meter in mm, 2000 exactly. Yeah, so just click on the origin point. Where you have to click? You have to click on the origin point. So the new joint will be created or will be drawn at a distance of, at an offset distance of 2 meter. So I am just clicking here. As you can see, the joint has been drawn at a distance of 2 meter in x direction. Now just come back, and the next joint is at a distance of 4.6 meter from the origin. This 2.6, this 2, how much it will become total? Fast answer me. Exactly 4.6. So just go to ETABS, just put here 4.6 will become 4600, and you have to click on the origin. So the third point will be drawn. Now next it is 9.1 from the origin, and also how much distance from this joint? 4.5 meter. So you can also take the reference or offset from this joint also. So this is at a distance of 4.5 meter. So that you have to 4.5, that will become 4500. And from the third point, just click here. So the third point is actually we have drawn, we have generated there at a distance of 4.5 meter. Now all these join is at a offset distance of how much in y direction, 2.8 meter exactly. So just put in y, see at this time just put 0 in the x ordinate, in the y ordinate you have to put 2.8, that will become 2800. Okay, so just click on this. So at a offset distance of 2.8 meter, the new joint will be generated there. Just click here, just click here, just click to this point, just click to this point. So like that you can you can draw the new joints at offset distance of 2.8 meter in y direction. Now just come back. Now can you tell me how much distance in between these two joints, vertical distance, how much? Exactly 3.1 is there. So 3.1 in mm, how much it will be? Exactly 3100 in y direction. Yes, good, you got 3100. Just put here, just put here, click here and click here, click here. So like that all the joints are actually we have generated there as per our grid requirements. But it's actually these all are the joints, these all are actually not the grids. We actually have to form the grids, but these are the joints. So how to convert these joints into grids? So that's a very simple thing. What you have to do, just go to edit, sorry, you have to go to draw. There you will find draw grids. Is it visible? Draw grid option is there. Just click on it. Once you click on this will ask you in which grid system you want to draw the grids. So by default is G1. Let it be as G1. Just close this, and from the left point move to the freely, just click on the right point, right end point, and freely move to the left end point and just click on this point. See, the grid line has been drawn. Is it visible? And the numbering of the grid is 1. Now just click on this point and freely move to the next end point in the same line. Just click here. So the grid naming will be 2. Just move from this point to this point, the grid will be 3. Then move to this point, top, this will be 4. I just want the naming at the top. Suppose I just want the naming at the bottom. So what you have to do, just move from this point to this point. So the naming will be in this side. Hello, you got it? Yeah, just go to file, undo. So the last operation will be deleted. If you want to go back, so you have to go to edit and just click on undo. And if you go forward, you have to go with the redo. Got it? Hello. So all these commands we will discuss in detail. Lot of every point, everything we will discuss in a very detailed format. Okay, so just keep patient and just cooperate with me, so that you will understand, you will come to know each and everything of this software. Got it? Yeah. So now next, just click on this point and freely move to the next point. So the grid leveling will be 5. This is called as grid leveling. We'll see discuss in the second method in detail. What about the labeling, how to do the labeling, all. Okay. Now click on this point and freely move to the next point. Just click on this point. So the grid will be 6. Now just click here and move to the next point. The grid will be generated there. Got it? Hello. So this is the first option by which you can form the grids in ETABS software. So this is actually the first option. You have to understand how you will how you can prepare the grid lines for your project. Suppose your project is very complicated, and see, I just want any point here. There is a particular point here, there is a particular point here, there is a particular point here. These kind of grids you have to form. So that also you can do by the offset point method. So what you need to do, just again go to edit, sorry, draw joints, and at this time I just want the point at a distance of suppose for an example the 3500 in x direction. At the same time the offset in y direction, it is 4500. Just click at the point so that the new joint has been drawn there. As you can see this is the new joint. Similarly, at the same offset distance, I just want the joint in reference of this point. So that will be generated there, that will be generated there, that will be generated there. Okay, now I just want to take the grids along these 2 points. So what you can do, just go to draw and go to grid lines. Got it? Just close it and move. Just click on this point and freely move to the next point. Just click on this point and freely move to the next point. Just click on this point, freely move to the next point. Click on this point and freely move to the next point. So in this way, these additional grids are added there. Just click on this point and move to the next point. So this grid is like that. Got it? So this complicated geometry plan, that for the complicated geometrical plan, you can also use the offset point method to form the grids. Suppose your architectural plan is like this. Suppose building in plan geometry is like this. So this kind of architectural plan, architecture in plan grids, you can't model. You can model by different methods, no doubt, but see, it is a second level method, second level of forming the grids. Got it? It is a not simple architectural plan. Okay, suppose your plan is like this. Suppose your plan is like this. Okay, so this kind of plan is called as orthogonal plans. What they are called as orthogonal plans. These are orthogonal plans. So what does mean by the orthogonal plan? Can you tell me? Yeah, simple in plan geometry, or not a simple geometry. See, if you are able to define both of the dimension, or we can say both of the direction of your structure in plan geometry in the principal directions, perfectly in the principal directions, at that time you can call it as orthogonal structure, orthogonal building. If your in plan geometry is such that both the dimension and both the direction of your building is exactly parallel to x and y direction in plan, at that time your building is what? Orthogonal building. But suppose your building geometry is like this. So are you able to define both the direction in x and y direction? So this is actually inclined. We can't say this line is along x direction. You can say, can you say this line is along the y direction? No, it is in between of x and y coordinate. Got it? So this is non-orthogonal building. This is an orthogonal building, and this is called as non-orthogonal building. We will discuss in detail in high-rise structure. When we will discuss high-rise structure, lot of discussion will be there on orthogonal building, non-orthogonal building. What are the influence? What are the things will be mattered with the orthogonal building and non-orthogonal building? That's another discussion. Okay. So for the orthogonal building, for the orthogonal geometry, you can prepare the grid lines in a easy ways. But if you are getting the complicated geometry, complicated architectural plan, at that time you have to take the effort to form the grids. So many options are there. Out of them, one option is offset point method. Okay, so using the offset point method, suppose our geometry is like this. Plan is there, and this is also a plan, not elevation, not 3D. This is also a plan. In plan geometry of your building is like this. Okay, and we have to form the grid like this. Got it? So how you can do this? So to do that, what you have to do? This is a simple plan is okay. It is done. This simple plan we actually have completed. Okay, we have to complete this inclined. How you can do this? Just go to draw. Just go to draw. Choose the draw joint objects. Just click here, and here suppose for example this point, see this point is at a distance of 3500 mm, 3500 mm, and in y direction it is what, y it is 4500 mm. Got it? How much it is? 4500 mm. This, it means it is 4.5 meter, it is 3.5 meter. So this dimension you have to put at the same time. Let it be 3500 in x direction and 4500 in y direction. Just close it. You can close it. Just click here, so that joint will be generated there, that joint will be generated there, that joint will be generated there, that joint will be generated there. What you actually have to do, just click on the base point. So from that base point at an offset distance of given distances, the new joint will be drawn there. Got it? Hello? Yeah. So only the joints we have created there. So here we have to form the grids also. So what you need to do, just go to draw and just go to draw grids. Once you click on draw grids, okay, just close it. Just click on this base point and freely move to the next point where you want to end your grid lines. Okay, just click here. So this grid labeling is what? Can you tell me? 8 number. When you move to this point, this 9 number. When you click on this point, move to the next point, this will be the 10 number. And when you click on this point and move to the next point, that will be your 11 number. Okay, and just click on this point. Suppose these are 1 2 3 and this will be what, 4 number. Okay, so just click on this point, left point, right point, really move to the next point, so that the number will be 12. Okay, so in this way you can complete the in plan grids for your architectural plan, for your complicated geometry. So using the offset point method, any kind of geometry you can complete, you can any kind of the grids you can form. Got it? So there is no limitation for forming the grid lines for any kind of project. Any kind of the structure, any kind of structural uh, in plan geometry of your building, you can complete with the offset point method. You all got it? So this is all about what, the forming the grids using the offset point method. Got it? So this is all about the forming the grid using the offset point method. So the next point is the most important method of forming the grid is actually the using the quick templates of the ETABS software. What? When you go to file, when you go to new model, just say no, and you all know what are these options, so I'm not going to discuss it again. Just go to third option and just say okay, and this new model quick templates. So to form the grids we are using this method also, using the ETABS quick templates, the most important method of forming the grids in ETABS software. So what actually the thing is there, what the things, so lot of things we have to discuss here, lot of things we have to discuss, and the very important point we have to discuss here in the form of for especially for the gridding. So this is the second option, and the third option is import and export method. So these two methods we will see in the next session. Got it? So here we conclude our session with the first option, the offset point method. In the next session tomorrow, we will see how to form different kinds of grids using the ETABS templates.